Hey, Ellen.
What now, Chris?
Oh, couple of cappuccinos?
Yes, cappuccino.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Oh, she's rolling. You weren't supposed to see what we do for a secret energy
That was tricky,
booster
Chris.
when things get a little tough. Well, when you got
And
a lovely
chilly.
when you got a lovely coffee bar at a trial, and it's a little rainy and chilly and drizzly today in California at the spring trials, 2019 spring trials, in
That's
fact.
right.
And we are covering Pacific Plug and that's good. Pacific Plug and Liner, where we're going to see the three different companies here today. So there's 3 videos. Check them out in all of our videos. In fact, click subscribe, click the like button, because that helps us out. But we're going to look first at our host, Pacific Plug and Liner, and some of the new perennial offerings that they have. But let us finish up our cappuccinos so we can be fully energized for this video.
Warm my
and
hands.
warm. Yeah, that feels good. You know, April Herring-Murray does such a fabulous job. I'd put her
She's
as
great.
#1 on display building at spring trials.
You know, she needs a TV show.
Are you kidding me?
Someone get on that.
Everybody wants a yard that looks like this. Now, her theme this year is the secret garden. And she just wanted to make it really lush and green and inviting. And she did a great job. Last year it was rock and roll. Very bright neon, crazy
Complete opposite.
colors. So this year, much more toned down. And the plants look fabulous. For instance, this new Hellebore that they're introducing. They've got 2 different Hellebores. This first one,
It's called Winter Angels Charmer, and it's Winter Angels, meaning it flowers a little bit earlier than the, I think, Frost Kiss, their other series.
right, now that's earlier meaning close to Christmas time. I mean, this is the Lenten rose, and so you think of Christmas, but it's usually January, February, March when these things bloom. This one is very early. It's a compact, but it has big flowers. And
The blooms last, I think, in Holland up to 5 months.
yeah, I've got a big bed of them
So it's
as I've
winter
been
and
talking about as we
spring.
looked at these in my front yard, and they do really well. Now, availability very, very limited right now. 2020 there will be more, and then into garden centers in 2021. We'll take a look at the other Hellebore in a minute. Well, we could go straight across to the other Hellebore. Let's do that while we're talking
there it is.
Hellebores. It's right next door here, because this is the latest Hellebore that you're going to find. We're going to go from the earliest to the latest. This one's called Dorothy's Dawn, and this one we're in the second half of, or near the end of March right now in California, and it's just coming into bloom. So this could be like an April bloomer, depending upon where you are. Now we've got an interesting Euphorbia right here called Miner's Merlot, and this is a sport of purpurea. This is Euphorbia purpurea. So it's a sport of the species with a nice bronze leaf foliage.
And it gets even darker. Take a look at the sign up there. That's how dark the foliage gets.
Now there are dark foliaged euphorbias on the market, Ellen, but what they told us is they're either really hard to find commercially, or they're really hard to propagate and grow. And they think this one is going to solve those problems. They should have plenty of them, and they should be easier to grow as well. So the last thing we're going to look at is right across the way here. These are Echibeckias, which is just plain fun to say.
Yeah.
It's a cross between an Echinacea and a Rudbeckia, and the series is called, the collection is called Summerina, and we've got one called Blazing Fire.
Right, that's this one here, and it has fringes around the center. You can see these little fringes popping up.
There they are, right there, and the flower petals are kind of wild. Some are curved up, some are curved down.
Yes,
and
right at the tips.
And so that's why they call it Blazing Fire. It's got a nice rounded habit, very big plants. I mean, look at the shape and size of that plant. This demands a big patio container.
And this one is
Sizzling Sunset.
Yes.
Now you got to be a bit of a Echibeckia expert to see the difference. The average consumer is not going to see it.
No fringe in the center. That's one thing. But I think the petals don't curve as much, especially in that one.
Yeah, they tend to curve downward complete, as opposed to more wild looking. And the plant is more columnar. So subtle difference, but distinct enough to where you may want to pick one or the other. So that's a few of the really interesting perennials, and what an amazing display here at Pacific Plug-in Liner, part of the 2019 California Early Spring Trials, where it's a little bit nippy.